Hello everyone, greetings of the day and namaskar. Uh, as you know that we are talking about this human values and professional ethics, and in the previous session we talked about this exploring our aspirations and concerns. That means we have number of aspirations in our life, but the question is whether we are able to explore all the aspirations in our life, and whosoever it is, whether we are making a list of all the aspirations in a planned way. So, that we have talked about in our previous session. So, taking on the continuation part on the values aspect, this is the lecture number 5, in which we will be discussing about the values in different dimensions of human being. Definitely we have the different values in the life. We are having the different gratitude in the life to the other people. We are having the different kind of love, different kind of care, different kind of respect in the life. But how it can be done? So, in this lecture we will try to understand about what? The values in different dimensions of human living. Yes, definitely when we are talking about the dimensions, the different areas, the different aspects in the life of the human being, we are behaving, we are accepting, we are expecting something in the life in the different way, and everybody has the different kind of attitude and temperament about this human values, the human life. So, in this session we are attempting what? We are attempting values in different dimensions of human living. Definitely when we are talking about the feelings, values in relationship, that is very much important in these scenarios. So, the values consist of many aspects, as I have already talked about in the previous sessions, that we have this one aspect, trust, that is the foundation value. Without trust, Vishwas, we cannot think of to continue our life. Definitely, if you are saying something to somebody, on the basis of trust you are saying something to the somebody, and definitely you are feeling that that person is the trustworthy person, and accordingly you are sharing the secret information to particular person, him or her. Then second area is the respect. Yes, everybody wants the respect in this world. If I am talking about the animals, you cannot harm the animals, they are definitely having the respect. But many people in the world, they are not respecting the human being. That is the important concern, and respect does not mean that you are having some motive against this. No, respect comes out from your inner consciousness. Definitely, I have given the example in the previous session that when a teacher teaching to the students in a particular semester or the particular year, the students are having the motivation that definitely they are wishing the teacher while they are moving from one place to another in the corridors of the institute. But once the teaching is over, after that the students are not respecting the teachers, even though when the teachers are moving out in the corridor, the students are just passing by and they are ignoring the teacher. This is not the respect. Respect comes out from the inner consciousness, and it is the long term process. It is not like that it is for a short period of time. So, what we have to do in this case, definitely affection is important. Affection means we are we are concerned with somebody. Affection means स्नेह. Yes, definitely अगर हमारा human beings के साथ स्नेह है, affection है, we are caring of them. Then guidance, it is an important aspect in the values dimensions. Then we have a reference, then we have a glory, गौरव का, अगर हम गौरव की बात करें, I have given the example of the Neeraj Chopra. Definitely the Neeraj Chopra is a glory of India, and he is now the golden boy, if I am talking about the golden boy. But when we are talking about the gratitude, how the Neeraj Chopra has gained this excellence to be a glory of India. There are definitely, there are certain forces which are becoming the glory of India as a Neeraj Chopra, the golden boy. Okay. So gratitude is the कृतज्ञता. अगर हम किसी के सामने अपनी कृतज्ञता को शो नहीं करेंगे, we cannot say that the glory comes out, the excellence comes out. So gratitude is also an important factor, and above all, the very important dimension is the love. That's the complete value. Definitely what we are lacking today, we are lacking all those areas: trust, respect, affection, care, guidance, reverence, glory, gratitude, love, that we are talking about the complete value. Now, trust is the foundation value of relationship. As you know that in the human value, relationship works a lot. How we are talking to the other person, how politely we are talking to the other person, either a small one, either the bigger one, definitely. Many people are having, the lots of money, but they are not respecting the other people. This is not done. So trust, when we are talking about the trust, Vishwas, because we are teaching the human values, and as an Indian, we must understand about the core meaning of these very important dimensions of human living. And without trust, we cannot live. It's a foundation value of relationships, any relationship, either brother and sister, either friends with the friends, either son and mother, either the son and the father, okay, either the husband or the wife, either the children. Okay. So relationship starts only when we have the trust. Yes, definitely we have to work on this area, trust. And love is the complete value. Definitely you cannot forget the love. Ultimate destination is what? Love. And it's every people demand. Love does not means that if I am talking about this loving the animals, loving the people, love comes out, from the inner consciousness. It's a part of eternal values which we are having or which we are inculcating in us. Okay. So that's what trust is, the foundation value of relationship, the dimension, the different dimensions, and it's one of the important dimension. Now, let's have a look on the comparison part. Okay. If I am talking about the values in the different dimensions of human living, so there are certain established eternal values. Sthapit Mulya, definitely we are talking about the Mulya Pravaha. We are having the different aspects of the Mulya Pravaha, that includes dedication, determination, belongingness, love, care, affection, gratitude. All are the established concerns. If I am talking about the eternal values, जो हमारे अंदर जो values हैं since the birth, definitely who will teach us these values? Society, family, individual, our parents, our teachers, our friends. So by birth, we are not aware of those values, but when we are growing up, when we are practicing it, when we are learning from the society, from our neighbor, from our locality, from our community, that becomes the eternal part. Okay. So, on the part of established eternal values, which we are calling the Sthapit Mulya, and in comparison to the expressed behavioral values, which we are calling the Shishtata, right, the Shisht Mulya. So, how we can compare it? On the aspect of the eternal values, trust, Vishwas is important. And on the other hand, if I am expressing this on the part of behavioral values, that what we are calling complementariness, right? That's Sojanyata. Kiski wajah se, how we can, what kind of procedures, what kind of processes we are following to become the behavioral values, expressing the behavioral values. Okay. So trust and the complementarities. Then respect, Saman. But how we can do it? If I am talking about the respecting somebody, we must compliance. Okay, that is the another way. How we are expressing it? Through the compliance. Compliance is what? Yes, defined rules are there. We have to abide by all those rules. That is the meaning of compliance. So, in compliance with what we are learning and what we are practicing, these two parameters, these two aspects are very important concern. Then affection, sneh. Yes, sneh, affection leads to what? Leads to commitment. Definitely when we are talking about the commitment, निष्ठा, हम कितने निष्ठावान हैं, हम कोई भी काम कर रहे हैं, हम कितनी निष्ठा से कर रहे हैं, right? That is the expressed behavior. There is a work, definitely there is a work, but on the part of the commitment, how successfully we are completing that particular task, that is what कि कितनी निष्ठा से हम कोई भी काम अपनी लाइफ में कर रहे हैं, on what basis, on what commitment we are working the particular task which we are having in our human living. Okay. Then care, that's another area, the mamta in the case of Hindi. Then that comes from the generosity, udarta. Definitely many people in the world, they are very generous towards the particular area, particular concerns. And if I am talking about the Indian glory, those people are awarded in the form of the Padam Bhushan, in the form of the Padam Shri, etc. Okay. Recently during the Republic Day parade, many genius people have received these awards, and that not comes from this only for 1 year. They have spent a lot of years to get themselves to become the genius. Okay. So, that is what, that is the expressed behavioral values, that how these values are inculcating over a period of time, and they are practicing it, and they are adopting all those areas of that particular specifications. Okay. Guidance, without guidance we cannot think of that we can achieve the any dimensions of the human living. Definitely when a small child learning the things from their parents, okay, how they can eat, how they can speak, how they can taking steps, okay, all those they required guidance, which we are calling the vatsalya. Okay. In the older days, I am talking about the historical values, I am talking about the Ramayana, I am talking about the Mahabharata, we have the gurus, and the if I am talking about the children education, the children education, they are spending a lot of years to learn the things. If I am talking about the Eklavya is not having the any guru, but Eklavya has learned the things, right, because he has what? He has the basic aspirations that he will be the great, the warrior in his life. So, what we are talking about in the case of expressed behavioral values, it's the spontaneity, सहजता, कितनी सहजता से, right, how much spontaneity we are guiding the other people, and definitely the guidance comes from the eternal values. If somebody is guiding you, you must take care of each and every step, because he or she is taking care of you, she is having the affection. Okay. Reverence, definitely if I am talking about on the part of reverence, Shraddha, the Hindi meaning of this reverence word. Obedience, Pujyata, expressed behavioral values, okay, established is Shraddha. Definitely everybody has some reverence to others. Some people are having the Shraddha to devotee of Lord Shiva, devotee of Lord Krishna, okay, devotee of Lord Sai. So, what they are having? They are having the Shraddha in the particular concern, okay. But if I am talking about the obedience, on what manner you obey all those instructions, all those guidance. That's the important factor. That's why there is a difference. There is a difference in the dimensions of what? Eternal values and the behavioral values. How we are behaving and how we are having the eternal conscious values inculcating in the human being. Then glory, Gaurav. Then ease. Definitely saralta. Kitni saralta se, how easily we are guiding somebody with the help of the very simple language, with the help of the quoting some examples, some experiences, some live cases with the people, with the friends, okay. Then gratitude, kritagyata. I talked about that, how the glory can achieved. Glory is what? Glory is the excellence in the particular field. I am talking about the Sachin Tendulkar. Yes, he is the glory of India. But if I am talking about the success of that glory for the Sachin Tendulkar, definitely the coaches behind to learn and practicing the lesson of cricketing, that gratitude is important. So, on the part of the Sachin Tendulkar, their coaches are definitely are the important concern in the case of kritagyata. That self restraint, if I am talking about the सौम्यता, कि कितनी सौम्यता से हम किसी को भी डील कर रहे हैं. But my dear, nowadays there is a lacking of these kind of areas. That's why the dimensions of human living is important, values in different dimensions, and love, ultimate what? The ultimate fortune, the prem. So, unanimity, if I am talking about the kindness, you should be kind to everyone. That comes in your behavioral values. That obviously eternal values are important, but how you can come up those eternal values, how you are coming up with the consciousness of the eternal values and converting into the behavioral values, that we have to learn, that we have to understand. Okay. So, as a whole, human values is what? Human values is equal to the participation role of a human being in existence. Yes, we are all are living in the existence. ब्रह्मांड की बात करते हैं हम, यूनिवर्स की बात करते हैं, तो हम सब उस यूनिवर्स का पार्ट हैं. We are the part of this universe, okay, and we have the existence of everything in this earth, in this universe. Okay, we have a different planets in this universe. We have the galaxy, we have the stars. Okay, so definitely, when we are coming up with this point, human values is equal to the participation role of a human being in existence. Yes, definitely, they are the human being, those who are, managing all these things, managing the nature, managing the society, managing individual, managing family. So, in the self happiness, peace, satisfaction and bliss, what we requires? So, participation in what? Participation in human-human relationship. Justice, established values, expressed values, then trust, complementariness, respect, compliance, affection, commitment, care, generosity, guidance, spontaneity, reverence, obedience, glory, ease, gratitude, self-restraint, love and unanimity that we have already discussed in the previous slide. So, human values is equal to the participation, and definitely participation in human, rest of nature, relationships, utility, artistic values. I have given the example in the previous session about the if I am talking about the artist, they are creating paintings. Okay, what they feel if they are creating a very good painting, what they feel? they feel the level of satisfaction that they have created a very good painting. It is the achievement of what? Achievement of a artist. Definitely, artist achievement is this, to create a very good painting which delight the people to see. Definitely, जब कोई भी इंसान उस पेंटिंग को देखेगा और वो कहेगा कि वाओ, that's what, that's the achievement of the artist. That wow word is only the achievement of that artist. Okay, so that's why participation in human rest of nature relationship utility, artistic value, participation in universal human order, what we required, perseverance, that we are calling the धीरता. What we required, bravery. Yet without bravery you cannot do. वीरता, वीरता तो चाहिए ना हमें अगर हम डिफेंस की बात करें. If I am talking about the army personnel, if I am talking about the defense personnel, the brave people, the brave heart, okay, that's required. Generosity, उदारता, kindness, दया. अगर आप में दया नहीं है तो definitely you are not having the particular human being values and the human values in existence of the nature, in existence of the family, individual and society. Then beneficence, then compassion, karuna. All are the participants of the role of a human being in existence. We cannot survive without all these concerns. If I am talking about the participation in the universal human order, and you must take care of this. Now, values in different dimensions of human living. Values are to be understood as participation in what? Participation in mutual relationship. Yes, we studied about values, feelings, in harmony in family. Definitely. If I am talking about the mutual relationship, there is a mutual understanding. There is a values, there is a emotions, there is a feelings. And if you are not having the harmony in the family, then we cannot say and we cannot learn the human values, the various dimensions of human living. Okay. So, likewise, working with material things, yes, we have two values. If we are working with the material things, we are having the two values, and these values are what? Utility value. So, the participation of a human being in ensuring the role of physical facility in nature, protection and providing means for the body, that is the utility value. Okay. In the previous session, I have talked about the physical facilities which we required. We have the materialistic things, we have the non-materialistic things, okay, which work with the nature. And we have to nurture these things, we have to protect these things, we have to providing means to the body. What our bodies required? A very good mental health, a very good physical health. That is the requirement of the body. But on the other hand, when I am talking about the I factor is required respect, I factor require recognition, and that consists of utility values. Then second value concern is the artistic value. Yes, this is what? This is the participation of a human being in ensuring the role of physical facility to help and preserve its utility in the right utilization of resources. We have the ample number of resources available, but whether we are utilizing all those resources in the right way, that is important. We have the facilitations of water, whether we are using that particular water in the right way. We are having the facilitation of electricity, whether we are using that electricity in the right way, the consumption of it, preservance of it, and further we know that we are dependent on the various natural resources. If these natural resources are coming to the end, then what is the impact on the existence on the earth? So, we have to preserve that. That requires artistic value, and artistic value call for what? the right utilization of resources. That's important concern. So, what we have working with material things, we have two values, that is the utility value and the artistic value. Utility value calls for the nurturing, protecting and providing means for the body. On the other hand, artistic value calls for right utilization. Okay. So, these are the two things which we have to keep in mind if we wants to learn the different dimensions of human living. Now, obviously, without the natural acceptance of human values from right understanding is important. So, the universal human values are the truths of existence and are always there. This is the natural acceptance and we have to accept it definitely. It is our prime responsibility that natural acceptance of human values from right understanding is important. If we are wrongly understand the things, then we are not be able to accept all the things as a natural process. Okay. So, it is for us to discover these through what? At a very earlier stage of the session, I talked about the self exploration. Okay. And learn to live in accordance with these in order to be happy. Until and unless you are naturally accepting the thing, you cannot think of the happiness. Until and unless you cannot exploring yourself, you cannot feel yourself happy. So, learn to live in accordance with the order to be happy. Okay. So, that is why natural acceptance of human values from right understanding is another phenomena, rather it is a important phenomena of living. Other thing we are having in this process of a natural acceptance of human values, the values are not be enforced through fear. You cannot enforce the values through fear. किसी भय से, किसी डर से अगर हम वो काम कर रहे हैं, that's not comes the part of values. It's the natural acceptance. So, fear does not having the existence. Okay. Then the values are not be enforced through greed, pralobhan, greed of greed of money, greed of lucrative things. No, the values are not be enforced through the greed also. It is the pralobhan, it is a natural acceptance. Okay, we must understand. The values are not be enforced through blind faith, belief, astha. Yes, we are having the astha, we are having the faith in the God. We are following the different different gurus, those who are giving the sermons on Bhagavad Gita, etc. I am not talking about this against the spiritualities, but if I am talking about the faith and belief, that comes through the natural acceptance. We cannot force the astha and we cannot impose the astha to anyone. Okay. So, the human values are to be naturally acceptable, and as a result of the right understanding gained through the self exploration. That is why at the very beginning the emphasis was on the self exploration. हम अपने आप को कितना जान रहे हैं, that is the important factor in the case of this concern. Okay. Now, another important concern is this swatva, swatantrata, swarajya, 3 S in this understanding the natural acceptance, right understanding. So, knowing your natural acceptance, what you really want to be, that is important. क्या चाहते हैं आप अपनी लाइफ में, exactly क्या चाहते हैं आप अपनी लाइफ में, what kind of satisfaction you need in your life, that is swatva, swatantrata, swarajya. Before independence, we required Swatantrata, we required Swarajya. Definitely, that's a natural acceptance on that part. I am talking about the what we really want to be. Then living in accordance with your natural acceptance, living in harmony within. As far as the natural acceptance is concerned, we have to live with the in harmony with the nature also. Okay? Then we can say that the 3S we can achieve. Then living in harmony with others, important, rather very important, with the entire existence. And how many of us are coming in the category, in the third category, living in harmony with others, with the entire existence? I think very rare cases are there. Okay. So that's what we have to improve on these aspects. If we want to achieve Swatva, if we want to achieve Swatantrata, if we want to achieve Swarajya. So 3S is our important concern: knowing, living in accordance and living in harmony. Okay. Now there are certain implications also on the value based living. And implications, we have 4 levels. I have already talked about the 4 levels: individual, family, society, nature. Okay. So what is the impact of value based living at the individual level? Happiness, you can explore happiness. Peace, yes, you can explore peace. Contentment and bliss in the self. Self satisfaction, you feel. Perseverance, you feel. Bravery, you feel yourself, yes, you can do. You can feel generosity in yourself, in the living of the individual. That is the impact and the implications of value based living. And we must preserve the values in our life. That's important concern. At the level of the family, what are the implications of value based living? Mutual fulfillment in relationships. We are lacking it. If we are doing so, then there is a mutual fulfillment in the relationships. Prosperity in the family. Sustenance of joint families. Family as the building block of societal order in place of law enforcing bodies. Respect for all without differentiation on the basis of age, gender, caste, race, money, post, creed, etc. So at the level of the family, you are able to achieve what? Mutual fulfillment in the relationships. Okay? That is the impact of value based living. Now, at the level of the society, fearlessness in the society, yes, it is important concern. We are living in a society, we are having the different level of fears. Holistic systems for education, health, justice, production, exchange and storage. Then harmony between nations, that is important factor. If everybody learns about that value based living, then the harmony between nations will create, and world growing as a family. World is not growing as a country, world is growing like a family. Okay. Number of crises are there in the different countries. Okay. Why it is so? Why the people are conflicting? Why the people are thinking of the wars? Okay. If they preserve the values, then we are thinking of the fearlessness society, holistic systems for education, holistic systems for healthcare, holistic system for justice, production, exchange and storage. So harmony between nations, important factor in the case of this impact of value based living. Now on the part of the level of nature, coexistence of all units in nature earth getting more and more suited for sustenance, the sustainable development is important. Of all entities on the globe, balance of seasons, yes, there is an imbalance of seasons because of this, different aspects, different impact on the nature. Proper development of material and pranic units through right availability of temperature, air, water, soil and other natural resources. So, that is to say what? Universal human order, and universal human values basically is creating the universal human order. So, that is the implication, that is the impact of this value based living at the level of nature. What? Coexistence of all units in nature, sustainable development at the global level, balance of seasons and all about the material resources which we required to balance our life, okay, which we are calling a universal human order. Okay, you can self-assess yourself with the help of this assessing the human values in respect to the existence with individual, family, society and nature. So, we will meet again for the next topic in the next session. Till then, you take care of yourself well and take care of your family, take care of your society, take care of the nature also, and namaskar. Vijay ji.